Hey, what's cracking? How are you doing today? Hope this video finds you doing well. I hope that you had a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And here we are together. It's 2024, and I'm glad for one to be here. I want to thank you for clicking on the video. If it's the first time you've ever watched, my name is Ricky Dye, and I went to prison when I was 15 years old in the state of Oklahoma. I was there for 20 years, 5 months, and 29 days. I got out when I was 35 years old. It was quite an experience. I would very much love to go back and change the things that I did that led to me being in prison. I would like to be in a completely different place in my life today. But unfortunately, as humans, we're not allowed to go back and change our past. So what I do is I make these videos in hopes of sharing my experience with other people about what I went through when I was 15 years old and went to prison. With grown men, what it was like to grow up in a medium and maximum security prison. And I try to share it all with you, hopefully to entertain you for one, but to be informative, to show what it's like when you send kids to prison, what ends up happening, what it's like, the things they may face. I share them to be informative for family members of people who are incarcerated, because it was such a difficult thing for my mother. She had a hard time with it everywhere I went. It's not the easiest thing to go through, having someone in your family or someone that you love locked up. So if you have any questions, I'm always glad to answer those for you. You can jump in the comments, or you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and I always answer those. I want to start my video today. You know, whenever I started these videos 9 months ago, I had all these ideas running out of my head, all these things. What should I talk about? Where should I start? And I decided I would start at the beginning, and that's what I did. And I first started with where I was and what I went through, and I carry on to, going to prison. And I rushed right through Lexington, the first yard I was on. And after I left those stories and I was at the next prison, I'm thinking, man, I forgot so many things. How could I leave out this? And how could I leave out that? But it's so easy to do over such a long period of time. And so I have stories that I forgot, so many of them. I know that if you've watched them all, if you've been keeping up with me and you've heard all the stories, you think, man, this guy's been through so many crazy things. But truth is, I've only scraped the surface of all the things that I've seen and done and been in the middle of. And I've saved this one because it happened within a month of me being in prison. Within the first 30 days of me hitting a medium security yard. I had turned 17 in November. I pulled chain and went to Lexington A&R December 26th, the day after Christmas. And in January, boom, I was on the yard. I was on medium security yard at Lexington. And that's when this story takes place. I hadn't been locked up a month yet. I was still trying to figure things out. I was nervous all the time because I was 17 years old. 5'6", 135, 140 pounds wet, trying to figure out what's going on. I've got people thinking that, I played basketball with the brothers all the time, so they're looking at me and saying, if he's not a black guy's punk yet, he will be. To be someone's punk means that you're their girl. That's what that means. There was no chance of me being someone else's girl. I just like to play basketball. But I didn't realize the way other people perceive you in prison just because of the things you do or the people you're around. So I find myself out there playing basketball a lot. And another thing I would do is, back then, they had pool tables in the gym. They had 3 pool tables. They had a foosball table. And you could go check out a pool stick from the guy who ran the gym, a staff member. He's like an officer, but he's a staff. He runs the gym. He's not a guard. You can go to him and check out a basketball. You can check out, back then they had boxing gloves. They don't have that anymore. It caused too many real fights. But you can go check out a pool cue. And you can go and stand in line and get next and play pool. It's a nice way to pass your time. It should keep people out of trouble. But I'm over there playing pool. And there's a guy there named Zach. I was 17. Zach was 19 or 20. Now, me and Zach had history. We were in the Berry house together. And when we were in the Berry house together, I was 15. He was 17. He was getting close to 18. And he's a couple years older than me. He was about half a foot taller than me, but he was slim also. He wasn't a real big kid. He was slim, just like I was, but about half a foot taller than I was and a couple years older. And Zach had been in a lot of trouble. He would come in and out of the Berry house. He'd brag about how many times he had been there. He would steal cars. Once they took him to court, and he took off running and hid in a creek, breathing through a straw with the dogs after him. He would brag about these things that he had done. He was a car thief and a burglar. But here we are. Okay, when we were in the Berry house, there was I was one of the only white kids until they got me in the same day room with my fall partner. I was the only white kid in my day room, and there would be a set of young guys that were in a gang over here, and a set of guys that were in a gang over here, a rival gang, and they would take turns jumping on me, I guess, to look tough to the other gang. So Zach, when he got there, he jumped in on one of those little crews. And he was like involved with them. He would kind of help them pick on me more or less. I was a young guy. I didn't have very many friends. It was all them pretty much against me. And he would kind of jump right in with them to try to fit in with them by being mean to me. Okay. But here we find ourselves in prison now. We're not in the Berry house anymore. I'm 17 years old. He's 19, nearing 20. We're over here playing pool. And I speak to him. We get along. We're okay. But he's always got this attitude toward me, like a bigger kid does to a little kid in school. You know how a high schooler might treat a junior high kid. He treats me like that. Try to little brother me, more or less. But he wasn't treating me like I was his brother. He's kind of a meaner, older kid. And both of us haven't been here long, and he's young too. And what he's doing is he's trying to lightweight bully me in a way, but not outright, but kind of lightweight, trying to act tough toward me to try to make himself look good to them, the other inmates around us. And he'll say little snide things. At the time, I didn't want to get in a fight with people. I hadn't been locked up a whole month yet, and I'm trying to stay out of trouble. So little things that I won't let go today, I would let go back then. Little snide remarks. I would just act like I was too dumb to understand what he was saying or whatever, unless it was direct. And then I'm going to stand up for myself. But I had next. There's 3 pool tables, like I said, and he's got next on the middle table. He's over there watching them play. I'm at this end table. I'm not playing on the table he's on. And I've got next. And I run to the bathroom right quick. So while I'm going to the bathroom, I guess he asked who has next. And instead of them saying that young kid had next, I don't know. So he said he has next. So now he's trying to get next on both tables. I come back from the bathroom. I'm standing there watching, waiting. I'm finished the game because I got the next game. And he's over there watching that game. And then this game ends, and I go to get the rack to rack the balls. And he comes over there and is like, no, I got next game. And it's almost count time. 4:20 is count time. It's around 4:15 or so, maybe 4:17. I don't know. It's really close. No, I said, I got next. We ain't even got time to really play. We're just going to set them up and shoot a few balls before they run us out of here. I said, I got next. And I said, no, man, I got next, man. I've been standing over here. You've been over there. And he says, so they get out of the gym, time to clear the gym, count time. So he turns around to me in front of all these other guys and says, just get your shit, meet me on the ball field after chow. Dude, I couldn't believe he said that to me. That's the one thing I've heard about since I've been in A&R and coming to jail, is that if someone calls you out to the ball field, it means you both got to get your knives and go out on the ball field and stab each other till one of you die, or someone has to catch out. Go to the police, say, I'm afraid, I need protection. I guess that's what he thought I would do. I don't think he thought I would go out there with him. But I go back to the unit, and I tell my cell partner, and he tells these couple older guys. So I'm still on orientation unit. I'm like, hey, man, this kid, he's got to go on the ball field after count. He's probably going to catch out. I said, I ain't catching out. I ain't catching out. So this old guy tells me, well, if you're not going to catch out, come in here. So he takes me in there, puts magazines on me. It's the first time I ever seen that happen. He took magazines and laid them down on the bed, and he took duct tape, and he taped them together, and he wrapped them around me, and put ace bandages around me to hold them in place. And he said, put your shirt back on. So put your blue shirt back on. Blue button-up state shirt. Before he sends me out there. He'll give me a little ice pick. It's a piece of crap, but I had something. I wasn't asking for a knife because if you ask for one, you got to use it. But this dude didn't call me the ball field. I got to have something. So I ain't even asked. They're giving me shit to defend myself. Here, you're going out there. These dudes right here that live over here close to this orientation, they're not older convicts. They're just some dudes that want to see some shit happen. They don't care what happens to me. They don't care if I get killed. They don't care if I end up winning and kill this guy, spend the rest of my life in prison. They don't care. They don't care. They just want to see some shit happen. And usually in prison, you know, these guys aren't about nothing. Because usually in prison, you see some shit going down. Out here in the world, people slow down to see. Not in prison, man. If you see some shit going on, you better go on and act like you don't see it. Because when they start saying somebody told, if you've seen it, you could have been one of the ones that told. So, you know, these dudes are just some shit starters. They don't know nothing about the penitentiary. They'll say wouldn't be one to watch nothing. But they just want to see these kids go out there. I don't think they think that we will stab each other. I think they think we're afraid. But really, Zach, he's trying to pump me out to make himself look tough. He don't think I'm going to come out there. But I'm not about to catch out, man. There's no way. I'm not fucking afraid of Zach. Piss on Zach, man. I don't like him anyway for the way he's done me ever since he's known me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to stab him. Shit. I don't want to stab nobody, man. I just came to prison. I want to make parole and go home. They wrap me up with all this shit and take me out there, and he's out there. But he didn't think I was going to come out there because he's over there and he's laughing and talking. But when I walked out there, he got all serious looking. And he's got a knife, but he don't have no magazines or nothing on. So really, he wasn't very prepared. But lucky for us, there's this older convict walking around out there on the ball field. His name is 8 Ball, and he was a well-respected convict. He sees what's going on. He goes, what the hell are y'all doing? What are y'all doing up here? He realizes they got these kids out here fixing to have them do this shit for their entertainment. And he's like, no, y'all not doing this. What's this over? Blah, blah, blah. Well, y'all just going to fight. So he decides he's going to referee and we're going to fight. So they take my magazines off. When they see me taking my magazines off, now Zach's like, holy shit. He don't realize what he was about to get into. I don't think I could have killed him or even wanted to kill him, but I sure was going to go out there and defend myself. But I was scared to death, and let me tell you, I was praying. Please, God, let me get out of this. Please, God, get me. But there really is no way to get out except for what happened. Once someone says, get your shit, meet me on the ball field, there's no backing out of that unless you catch out. There's no saying, never mind. I don't want to come out there. None of that, dude. Someone calls you, get your shit, come out there on the yard. You better get your shit, come out on the yard. You're going to be a piece of shit. Everyone start taking things from you. You're liable to be forced to do sexual acts against your will. So he gets us out there and he decides he's going to make us fight. But Zach ain't worried about fighting. Zach thinks he can just whoop me, man. But Zach couldn't wrestle for shit. But he was taller than me. He had longer reach. He tagged me with a couple. I get him. I wrestle him down on the ground almost immediately. And I get him in a headlock, start punching him up. And we're not down there too long. And I got him in a headlock. He can't get loose, but he's got hold of my wrist and I can't hit him. 8 Ball's like, y'all ain't fixing to just lay out here and do that shit. So till the guards comes around, he breaks us up, gets us up, makes fight again. And this time Zach's more careful, trying not to let me grab him, man. He tagged me up pretty good, man. He got some good licks on me, man. I couldn't get no good ones on him. Finally, I wrestled him back down. Same thing. Get a few licks in. Can't hit him no more. Can't get no lick. Break us back up. By the third time, you're both really tired. Nobody can hardly breathe. You're really through fighting, but somebody's trying to win. So we end up trying to go at it, throw a few punches, wrestle back. We end up tied up again, and they broke us up. And that ended up being the end of it. So all 3 times, I ended up on top. I had Zach on the bottom of me. But I'm telling you, when it was over, I looked the worst for sure. That second round, he gave me some good ones, man. He swelled my eyes up pretty good, split my lips. But everyone did say, little youngster, they called him out on ball field. He got his shit and came out there. And Zach treated me a lot better after that. Let me tell you, Zach never treated me that way again. That was pretty wild, man. But I was terrified to get my shit and go to the ball field, I'll be honest. I'll always go if I'm called out, but that was pretty scary at 17. So I want to tell you guys some things today. I want to thank you guys. The person who did the $20 super thanks last month. Damn it, I don't have the device to look and see the name. I'm sorry, man. My memory's bad. Bebo did a super thanks. And I thank you guys especially well because let me tell you this. The way YouTube pays people is you have to make $100 in a month for them to pay you that 100 or whatever more you make the next month. So when I got monetized, I only made $48 the first month. So I didn't get no pay. But it rolled over. And the next month I made another $49. And it still wasn't 100. And the next month I made like 50 some. So now it added up to $160 and I got my first check. And then the next month I had made 70 something 2 months in a row. And then I got another 150. So I got a check for 160. Then I got one for 150. And then they were even with me. And I was only going to get whatever I made for December. So, but I had to make 100 in December or I wouldn't get anything this month. And I was putting up a video every 3 days, doing my best to get to 100. And I never would have made it, but that super thanks for that $20 got me close. It got me close. And I was within a few dollars. And Woodwood, Bebo put $2 on there, and it cashed in $100.12 for December. So I make $100 this month because you guys. Thank you guys for not skipping the commercials. Thank you guys who have hit subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'm trying to do something good with my life, trying to help people. Hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Like button helps. Comments. I always answer the comments. If I've missed one, I want you to know that I just missed it and I will answer it. Get back in there for me. So, hey, shout out to the riders and dyers who ride till the wheels fall off, and the dyers keep riding even when they do. I need you guys, each one of you, to get me your address through Messenger. And I ask you to share that in the comments. If you hit me up on Messenger, shoot me your address. I need that by the 1st of next month because I have a little something for everyone who's a rider and a dyer. It's not much. It's a token of my appreciation for you guys being there for me. I know this video is kind of short. I have a lot of other things to talk about. The reason I haven't been on in a week is because I've been out of town visiting family. My wife lives a couple hours from her family. She doesn't get to see them a lot, and her dad is an older man. And so I promised her I would get her to see her family, and we were finally able to do it. And we went and spent a few days down there with them. I haven't been in pocket to make a video. Kept wanting to, but I forgot my mics and all the other things that I might need. I never just really had time. But I'm glad to be back with you today. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you again in a couple days. Rest assured. And until then, may God bless, keep, and protect each one of you. Peace out.